We will open the floor for questions and comments. I guess we have somebody with a microphone here, so please feel free to ask just by raising your hand so that we can bring the microphone. Do we have any? We have one here in front to begin with. Eturivis.
Hello, Karl Sander from Pro Patria Youth. So I have a question with the last point, actually. I mean, in 2016 there was international civic and citizenship education study, which showed that only a third of teenagers look for or read local or international newspapers, and also it showed that the internet and social media haven't fulfilled the void that was prognosed to get information about politics. So saying that young people are interested in politics might be a bit of an exaggeration. So do we need to bring those people who are not interested in politics into the voting sphere? That's my question.
Who would like to start?
As I mentioned in Rakvere, there were students who made a human chain around the school to protest against the new building. Yes, I agree that they are not interested in every part of politics, but there are definitely, especially at local levels, issues that matter to them, like youth organizations and like places where they could chill or whatever. And I do think that those places are connected to political decisions so that they can have support from local governments, etc. So I agree that they're not interested in everything, and yes, Facebook has its algorithms which doesn't usually show political things, but I believe that there is so much more to politics, and there are some decisions that is connected tightly to politics. I don't know if I answered your question.
Just to follow up. So you're saying that basically your point is that at local level 16 plus is okay, but when we talk about wider political topics, so nationwide voting 16 plus, that's a no, because they're not interested?
I haven't given a deep thought into it, so I don't think I have the right answer now. So I do believe that it's a great decision in local level, but we should put more consideration into it to talk about in national level.
Okay, Lauri wanted to say.
Yes, thanks. I think it's a question of how we serve it to our youngsters, because as I mentioned in my speech, we knew pretty well what we wanted from our hometown and what kind of activities we wanted, what kind of attractions we wanted to have there. So if we explain it like that in our schools easily and then from the real life, with real life examples, I think they can adapt. Of course, if you say that it's a big political thing and ideological thing or whatever, they will not catch the thing. But if we give real life examples, I think it's pretty easy to explain to them. And then for me, it was pretty easy to look, and that's always been actually, to look the programs, what people promise, what are the things I would like to have in my hometown, and what kind of people they are. Do I know them? Can I get their number? Can I call them? Because lots of, from the survey also it came out that, was it like 88% of the young voters told that they are interested what's going to be next, what their candidate is going to do and how will they keep their promises and so on. So my recommendation for younger generation has always been that if you won't get the number of, I don't know, Siim Kallas, then don't vote for him. If you can get his number and he promised to call him every day, okay, get his number and ask, well, you promised this, what did you do and how can you help me? So on local level, it's very easy for me. And I kept my promise always that I gave my number, email address. If somebody called me, we met, we talked, and I was explaining why I was doing this or why I wasn't doing that. So I think it's a question of how do we explain it, and the big role also is in schools. In my home school, we had lots of actually political debates taking place before elections. Our teacher invited different political parties into school. We had big debates, and then we had pretty good picture to decide what do they promise and what kind of people they were and so on. So it's not so tough actually. It's if you like present it clearly and easily from the real life.
And then Anu.
I have a couple of thoughts on the issue whether young people are interested or not interested in politics. I would like to cool down a little bit the hopes that everyone will be interested in politics. And this mysterious 25% who say that they are not interested in politics, I would say this is very good figure actually, because if we take the entire population, then about 1/3 is not interested in politics, sometimes even 40%. So I even say we have to accept that some people are not interested in politics, and if we are going to push everyone and create like an obligatory standard that you have to be interested in politics, this reminds me of a totalitarian society, I'm sorry. So let them be. If some people are not interested in politics, of course there is some, normal distribution. So the society where majority is not interested in politics or dissatisfied with the politics, this is not normal. But if you have like 1/5 who say that I am not interested in politics, maybe they are interested in culture or volunteering or environment or something like that. And the second point is what was spoken by, I think, almost everyone in our panel, is how you phrase the politics. I agree that basically politics is the life. So there is quite a few things which can be left out of politics. So from the researcher's point of view, it depends a lot how you put the question in the survey instrument. And typically, if you are asking very straightforward, like, are you interested in politics, taking what the connotation of politics and politician is, you are not popular, not positive figures, we know. So if you put it in that way, you got higher percentage who are saying, I am not interested. But if you are asking whether you care in which building your school will be, then almost everyone says, yes, I do care. And this figure that 88% of respondents say that we want to know what the elected representatives at local councils are going to do during 4 next years. It is very important and very positive message. And at the same time, it is also I would say, the main task for Estonia to address and accomplish. Because if local councillors know, and also the media personnel will keep the track and show what local councils are really doing, then we maybe manage to keep young voters active also in next time. But if it is like now, we do know very little what is going on in city council or rural councils. Typically, if there is some sort of scandal, corruption or something internal business, but very, very few information about really local policies, what people are interested in. So I don't know how many media people are here. Maybe someone is watching online. Should I wave this way? I think there is a camera. Please bring the inside stories from local councils to the media. One way is to meet personally, and that's a good way to do. But to understand the local politics, I think young people need to see the council as a collective body, not just one representative. You will probably tell always positive things about what you are doing. So, of course. So we need to show also council as an entire body who is making decisions, voting something down, voting something for, agreeing, disagreeing, stopping, pushing forward, etc.
Thank you, Hanno. Then Roger.
When it comes to the national level or the Riigikogu elections, then we have to think about how we, and by we mean we as the National Youth Council or different youth organizations and especially different political parties, how we made the steps ourselves in order for the young people be wanting to participate on the national level, because the local level is something that you feel or see every day. You live there, you know more what's happening in there, and when you have the opinion or the possibility to decide on who to elect, then you can make the decision more or less in a quicker way, because the information is more at hand. And especially if you are a young person who doesn't read news every day or doesn't look at the different national media outputs, then on the national level we have Riigikogu elections coming up next year, and I truly hope that we will see more promises made directly towards young people. I know there have been made, but have we made different advertisement, I don't know, on the radio or on TV or posters on the streets that call out young people that we want you to participate more. We want to not only make skate parks for you, but we want actually to know your opinion on the I don't know, the public transportation or the lampposts or whatever the different topics are that usually young people aren't around. So in my opinion, the bigger question is have we made the steps ourselves from the national level.